Hey y'all, I am in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I am wondering, what is your best roofing sales advice? Like one piece of advice that would help me and people beneath, if you throw it in the comments. And then also, if you have a video or a resource that I can learn, that'd be amazing. I am in a roofing sales dogfight. It's a role play contest here in this next month at the Top Rep event in New Braunfels, Texas. I believe it's August 20th and 21st. And I am trying to learn roofing sales as much as I possibly could learn roofing sales in a month. And I'm also trying to sell a roof this year. So I'm going to learn it as best as I can. And I'm trying to get your guys' top roofing sales advice. So once again, if you have a tip for me as I'm trying to learn roofing sales as quick as I can before this Top Rep event here in August, drop it in the comments. You've got a video that will help me, drop it in the comments, and I would really, really appreciate it, because I'm a noob and I don't know roofing sales, and I want to learn roofing sales, and it would be so helpful to me if I could get you guys' advice and hints. Now, I want to talk to a man who understands these dogfights.
Hi. How is everybody?
Nathan Thibodeau.
Yes, sir.
Thibodeau. How do you say it?
Thibodeau.
Thibodeau. So Nathan has been to these. Nathan has been to these events. I'm just going to take this over because this thing is sometimes a little weird.
Yeah.
So you've been to these events. Can you give me a little bit about what the dog fights are? Because I said dog fight to a guy on my team, and he's like, you better clarify that quick.
Exactly
What is a dog fight? Yeah.
So a dog fight is basically where you get a chance, after having learned one of the 6 phases of the in-home sale, you get a chance to role play and put your skills on that section of the sales process against other guys who have attended Top Rep. So in other words, if we're talking about phase 3 or phase 4 of the in-home sale, after you've learned what that is, then you get to sit down and listen to other guys do their version of that, and then you get to give your version of it as well, for the purposes of, first of all, trying it out so it stays in your brain, and second of all, you guys are going to score each other, or guys score each other during this section, and we have a competition over the 2 days to see who will be the top rep.
Okay, and so for me, as somebody who's trying to train for this and trying to train for, I've kind of committed. I wanted to do 2 dumb things this year, which was, one, I wanted to go viral, which I did. It sucked. The video sucked. It was the worst video I've ever done, and it went viral. And then second, I wanted to sell a roof, and because I'm a marketer, I thought that might be fun to figure out how to do it and to learn a little bit more about it. And that's one reason I partner with Top Rep, is I think that you guys have such a great reputation in the industry. These events have such a great reputation, and you know what you're doing. And people that I see go to these things sell more the following years.
Yeah.
And so
the following day,
boom. Yeah. And I know that, there's a number of amazing sales reps there. Last time I was there, I talked to a bunch of guys that went over 2 million, and basically were sharing generously at these events, and are there helping sharpen the young bucks.
Yes.
And I think that that's super cool for me as somebody who doesn't know roofing sales. And I'm asking this for you guys too, just that are on live, but basically I'm looking for, will you please give me your best tip? And I'm asking for this from you right now, for some guy who's studying for this, that wants to be better, that wants to be, you guys call them black shirts, right?
So the top 10%, so there will be a top rep who scores the most.
Yeah.
And then for the top 10% of the guys there competing, those guys will be called black shirts. So they get a different shirt, they get a hat, they get the ability to come back to Top Rep for free. Mm-hmm. So those are the creme de la creme. Those are the guys
August
that are
20th,
at the top.
20th and
August
21st?
21st and 22nd.
Okay, thank you. Excuse me. Those are the right dates.
I believe that's a Monday and Tuesday.
New Braunfels, Texas.
Yep.
And next month, so August, yeah. And my question, what is the thing that I can do, one, to hack the system, because I really do want to win. It's me versus Patrick Carr, and 2, maybe that would actually help me close a roof.
Okay, so 2 things. For you to try and beat Patrick Carr, the best thing that you can do is figure out which phase you guys want to dogfight, and then start working on and practicing that phase. So
Okay.
I can help you know what the phases are.
Yes, give me the phases real quick, but I do need to give Andrew Honkamp's remark here, which is I'd start with a trustworthy beard, and I'm out for that. Here's the deal: I can't even grow. I
That's
have
a great idea.
I know that some of the best roofers in the world and roofing company owners have these incredible beards, and roofing salespeople. I cannot grow one, so I'm out for that.
I can't do a beard.
I've got a handicap.
Yeah, I can't do a beard either. So you might be a little back on that one. Then overall, for actually selling, this gets overlooked far too much, and I think the reason is because guys are always about closing and they want to know how to overcome objections. The number one way to overcome objections is to know what the prospect's problems, issues, fears, and concerns are to begin with. So if you want a jump start on understanding that, ask questions. Get really, really good at asking questions, because questions are, number one, how you learn about the other person, and you can learn how to guide an entire conversation through question asking. You can retain control over a conversation through questions.
And I was reading something because I'm asking people for resources now, and so I've got 3 incredible salespeople that are trying to in my corner trying to pump me up a little bit. Dan Walreck is one of them. A couple other people, and I got a write up about like essentially asking a question back when they ask a question. What do you guys call that?
Well, it's clarifying.
Yeah.
Right? You want to clarify. So oftentimes we make assumptions, like when somebody says you're too expensive, or we're not going to buy anything today, or we can't handle that price, or I got to get 3. Or this, I have to think about it. That's the one that stumps everybody all the time. I got to think about it. So clarifying questions are follow-up questions to understand why people said what they said.
Oh, I think that in this particular case, they're calling it a reversal.
Oh, a reversal. Okay,
So I was learning about reversals yesterday. Like I said, I'm really learning. I'm really trying to learn, and I want to be, I want to be able to actually sell a roof. So I'm actually going into this not just to beat Patrick Carr on this. And I mean, have you seen Patrick Carr? So the arms alone are going to intimidate me, and I'm going to be in there. And I am terrified just at the pure spectacle of this. But I need real tips, so the reversal looked like a real tip.
Reversal is really,
when they ask like a question, I'm asking re-asking a question. Why is that important to you? For instance, I think in this write-up, the example was like, would you be able to get this roof done by, July 4th? And then you would say something like, why is July 4th important to you? And
right.
Your family?
You can affirm, some type of statement like, I think that might be a possibility. What's special about July 4th?
Yeah.
And now you're about to extract from them the reason why that's important.
And one other thing that I've gleaned so far, and I'm not only trying to sell a roof, I'm also trying to sell a roof in the way that I guess you got your guys' framework, because I know it's going to be judged by the framework, right? And one of the things was that, oh God, I forgot it. Never mind. Anything from your perspective, and that idea of like your guys' framework. Sorry, we got a nail gun over here. What are some top things that Top Rep pushes as far as principles that are?
So things the Top Rep pushes are going to be understanding that client's needs, number one, and not just beating them over the head.
So questions. Understand the pain.
100%.
Yeah.
The other thing is going to be to have a process that you follow and don't skip anything. Okay? We're notorious. Anybody who knows how to sell, we're notorious that if we actually skip some step of the process and somehow actually still close a deal, now we think we don't have to do that ever again.
We get eager because somebody looks like they're going to close. And so we're like, all right, let's just get to the point.
I had a guy one time refer to that as commission breath.
Ooh, that's commission breath?
The heart starts to pump. You start breathing heavy because you know you're close. And you start getting this commission breath, right? So we got to avoid the commission breath.
You might also get commission breath at the bar sometimes.
Following the path is another major principle of Top Rep. Keeping yourself off the pedestal, understanding how to become a hero salesperson.
When you say pedestal, I'm not going to lie, I know exactly what you're talking about because you were on my podcast talking about this, but I also know what you're talking about because I see this so much with sales guys, like coming into our house, selling us home services, like the carpet guy. You can tell he thinks of himself very highly. And maybe that works for some people, but for me, it was very off-putting.
Yeah.
And so that pedestal thing too, like basically, how do you keep your ego out once you start to do really well at roofing sales?
Well,
I guess, sorry, this is a different topic.
No,
but-
yeah, right. It's okay. Staying off the pedestal, that understanding of humility is always going to be from constantly having a hunger and a thirst for knowledge and growth. Because here's the thing. You might be the top sales guy at your company, and maybe you sell 2 million. Good job, because that's more than most. But you might meet somebody out there who sold 5 million or 6 million
that's why
or 8 million.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you're going, oh, geez, I didn't even sell half of what that guy did. And so you need to make sure that you understand that number one, you didn't do this on your own. None of us really ever do. We had people who helped us, who pushed us, who taught us, who trained us. And then also, there's always somebody better. And so
that's why I love to talk about Dan Walrek, because he's basically,
Dan's a machine.
it's why he got so much more than most people get, which is 18.6 million. In 1 year, mind you, but I like to talk about it just because it's like, yes, you got 4, congratulations. You know what I mean? Even for those big guys, they need something to sharpen them, the guys that have sold a lot. And by the way, speaking of like the hero sales culture and staying off the pedestal and all these things that I think you guys are going to be talking about at this event.
Yep.
Sharpen your people. Some of you have large teams. Bring your large team.
You want to stay off the pedestal? If you think you're good at sales, come to Top Rep and see how you score against everybody else.
Yeah.
There's guys from all over the country, and I'm telling you, there are people who sold 3 or 4 million that year and didn't even get into the top 10%.
So, and some people know their sales guys suck. So let's talk about that. Like a lot of times it's the great brands, it's people that have great companies, that have good marketing, that like, you know your sales guys suck. My question for you is, for those guys, why bring 16 people, not just like 3?
Well, one of the things that we've seen over time, and this is an understandable thing, is we talk to companies and they go, I want to see what this thing's all about. And so they send their sales manager, or they send their top rep, or their number 1 sales rep to this thing. Every single time, that person ends up going, I should have sent my whole team. Every time. They're like, I don't know why I didn't just send everybody. I should have brought everybody to this thing, and I missed out on an opportunity, and now I got to wait till February for the next one.
So it is as bad as you think. Your salespeople do suck. We love you. It's okay. It's just they need to train more, and this will give them a framework to train more. And I think it would be a great option for a lot of you guys who have these larger sales teams and are ready. Yeah, it's a little bit. It's going to be expensive to send a full team there, or to send 8 people, or whatever it happens to be. But the point is it's more expensive to be paying these people and not getting their close rate up, right?
Well,
So-
I mean, if you sent your guy to this thing and he sold 1 additional deal for most of these guys, he sells 1 additional deal, the cost of sending them is nothing. So it really, honestly, the event is not expensive. It's actually an investment, and that investment has a return. So that's another part we're going to have to work on you with. This event doesn't cost you anything. It makes you money. So value proposition. So that's another angle here.
I got a lot of things to learn, and I'm hoping to learn them at this event, but I'm also hoping to learn them before this event, so my dogfight that I can win. So if you guys could comment, and I know a lot of people will watch this later, could you comment below and give me 1 tip that you think will help me win this dogfight and will help me in roofing sales, and then also just any resources, because I'm serious. I need to win this. I'm obsessed. I appreciate y'all. Bye.